So I wanted to switch everything up just because of, you know, there's a lot of things happening in our world right now, and I think that it's important to make sure that that everybody is represented. And I know, especially in art, and because I studied art history, and it's when I went to college, and it's kind of crazy actually how few minorities are really represented in art museums and in history of art. And so I think it's really, really important that we put a spotlight on artists who are of color and artists who are women, because a lot of times those artists aren't represented in a lot of museums and in frankly, in art classrooms. So this whole month I decided that I wanted to do artists of color that really inspire me. And the first artist that I wanted to start with, his name is Kehinde Wiley, and he's a really, really famous artist because one of his most famous pieces was that he was chosen by President Barack Obama to paint his national portrait. So every president gets a national portrait painted that gets hung up in the National Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C. And Obama chose a Black artist, and he was the first president to ever do that. And Kehinde Wiley's picture, if you go on the website where you clicked on the link, you can see the picture of Obama that he did, and it's so, so, so different from every portrait of a president before them. You can see he's sitting on this chair, and the background is just like covered in all of this amazing foliage. In fact, maybe I should share my screen so you guys can see. Hold on, let me share it just so make sure. Go. So we're all looking at the same thing. You got it, Scott?
Yes, it's up.
Okay, cool. So you can see the picture of Barack Obama's right there, and you can see that like he's like sitting on this chair and he's looking straight at you in the picture. But I think that one of the craziest, wildest things about this picture is the background. And there's a lot of symbolism in the background. And it's really interesting because Kehinde Wiley picks, like he does these really beautifully bright colored backgrounds for all of his pictures. They almost look like wallpaper. But all of the flowers that are behind Barack Obama symbolize something. So the flowers that are in the background and the leaves that are in the background are the flowers of Hawaii, which is where Barack Obama grew up, Chicago, which is where he lived for a long time, and there's also some plants and flowers from Nigeria, which is where, or sorry, excuse me, from Kenya, which is where Barack Obama's father lived. And so there's a lot of symbolism in the background. So I thought today we could do a portrait in Kehinde Wiley's style. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. So we're going to be focusing a lot on the background. I'm going to stop the screen sharing right now. You can see my face. But all I want you to do today is you have a choice. You could do a portrait of yourself, or you could do a portrait of somebody who you find inspiring, or somebody who you just want to do a portrait of. It's totally up to you. It can be yourself. It can be a person you're inspired by. And there's two ways to go about it. You could either take a picture, like a photograph that you have of the person. So what I did is I just went online and I found a picture, and I thought that because I was really inspired by Kehinde Wiley, I'm gonna do a portrait of him. So I printed out a picture. This is my picture of him. And I'm going to use this one as my portrait. But if you don't have access to a printer, or you don't have a photograph that you have permission to cut up, you can always just draw your picture. So you could draw a picture of you could draw a picture of who you admire or who you're inspired by, but it's totally up to you who you pick. And so, but like I said, I'm gonna do a portrait of Kehinde Wiley today. And in the background, I was kind of giving it some thought, and I did a little bit of research because I wanted the background of his portrait that I make to have some symbolism. So I did some research, and I found out that Kehinde Wiley was born in California, and the national flower of California, the the state flower of California is the poppy. So I think that for my background, I'm going to include some poppies. I also learned that he studied in Nigeria. So I'm going to put in some flowers from Nigeria in there. And he also lived in New York for a long time. And the national flower of New York is a rose. So I'm going to do my background of Kehinde Wiley covered in poppies. I don't know the name of the national flower in Nigeria. It has some scientific name that I can't remember, but it's a pretty yellow flower, and roses. So that's how I'm going to do mine. Your symbolism doesn't have to be flowers, though. If you do a picture of yourself and your favorite food are tacos, you could cover your background in tacos. If you are doing a picture of somebody you admire, like maybe a teacher or a parent or a grown-up you admire, or even like a friend you admire, I want you to think about that person and try to pick something that symbolizes who they are. So it could be like from like where they're from. It could be things that they like. It could be things that that help, like some of the reasons why you admire them. So for instance, if it's a teacher, maybe it's some like school supplies that you choose to put into the background. So, but the background should symbolize the person in some way. Does that kind of make sense? All right, so I got some thumbs up, awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch cameras. So to show you, hold on, let me turn this on. 1 second, there it is. So, let me fix this, there we go. So right before class, got it?
Sorry. Yes, and Judy is asking, did the green leaves symbolize something?
Yeah, so you know what, I have to go back and research, but I know that all the foliage and the flowers are, they symbolize the 3 places that are where Obama was born in Hawaii, where his father grew up in Nigeria, and in the chrysanthemums I know are from Chicago. So I'm assuming that the green foliage has some ties to one of those 3 places, or maybe they're just like the flowers, the greenery of whatever of those flowers. But yeah, there definitely is a lot of symbolism in the background. Sorry, did I keep saying Nigeria? You're absolutely right. Kenya. Thank you. Kenya, Hawaii, and Chicago. Thank you so much, Liliana Heather Rose. Kenya. In fact, I can go back because I did do a little bit of research and I can find out exactly which flowers that he used. But in fact, I'll do that while we're working. But really quick, I wanna start just showing you what I was gonna do. So like I said, I printed out a picture, and I'm just doing mine of Kehinde Wiley because, like I said, I was really inspired by him, and I think he's just kind of this amazing artist. And so I'm going to take mine, and you have to make sure you have permission, but I'm going to go ahead and cut out him from the picture, from the background, because I'm going to do a background that is separate. And one of the things that Kehinde Wiley does in his pictures too is that some of his backgrounds are behind him, and so some of them, sometimes the flowers and the things that he picks in the background actually come up on top of his figures, which is kind of interesting. Kehinde Wiley is also really known for traditionally a lot of art. It was of white men. So when you go to like an art museum, a lot of times you'll see pictures of, you know, men on statues and men like in places of power. And what Kehinde Wiley does is that he would a lot of times he would find his subjects, so the people that he chose to paint, he would find them on the streets. He would be like walking on the streets, and he would just find somebody who just kind of struck him as a person that had like an interesting face or like exuded a sense of power or interest, and he would ask to paint them, and he would paint them in poses that we would traditionally see these white people in. So for instance, like he would paint them like on a horse, like Napoleon. So, but instead of it being like a white person, it would be a black person. And so it was kind of a statement on race, and it was a statement on like power and it was trying to put people, it was trying to like make sure, like put a spotlight on Black people in the same way that white people have always been portrayed, which is just, I mean, like if you ever go to a museum, a lot of times it's just a lot of people who are white, and so Kehinde Wiley is kind of turning that on its end. And his pictures are really, really beautiful, and unlike anything else I have seen. If you ever get a chance to go to Washington and go to the National Gallery, you should try to see the picture of Barack Obama, because it really does stand out. It's unlike any of the other pictures. So let me do, so if you have a picture, I'm curious as to who you guys are picking to do your portrait of, if it's going to be yourself or if it's going to be somebody else. Anybody wants to share who they're doing their picture of? I'm definitely curious.
Here's Kat.
Hey Kat, who are you doing yours of?
So I chose my dad. Like normally I would do like my grandma or something, but I chose my dad because it's his birthday today.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That's amazing. Oh, I found the flowers. So it's chrysanthemum, which reference the flower of Chicago. Jasmine evokes Hawaii, where he spent the majority of his childhood. And it's African blue lilies, and they stand in for his late Kenyan father. So those are the three flowers, and I'm assuming that the foliage represents. I think the foliage is for those flowers, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I'd have to really do some research, because I'm not sure what well, I know what foliage of jasmine looks like, and it's usually like a dark green. I'd have to look. I'd have to really research that. Does anybody else want to share who they're doing a portrait of?
Here's Laura.
Hi, Laura.
I'm doing a portrait of my mom.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. So what kind of things are you going to put in the background to symbolize her?
Well, I'm going to put the beach because maybe some flowers, because she grew up in North Carolina.
Okay.
And every year when we're in North Carolina, we usually go to the beach when we're in the summertime.
Okay. That's a great idea. I love it. I love that you're really thinking about her and making the background symbolize her. That's awesome. Anybody else want to share what who they're doing?
There's Liliana and Heather Rose.
Hi, girls. What are you doing? Oh, it's just. Oh yeah, you're both there. Okay. I was about to say.
I'm going to do. We're both doing our grandparents.
Oh, that's awesome. Where are your grandparents from?
Well, Heather Rose is doing our grandmother and our great aunt in Hawaii.
That's awesome.
And I'm doing our grandparents out here in California.
Oh, that's awesome. Very nice. Great idea, girls. I love that. Were you able to get photographs, or are you drawing them?
We got photographs.
Oh, awesome. Very nice. I can't wait to see what your pictures look like. So one thing is, after I cut it out, I'm not going to actually glue my picture down until after I've done the background. So I started before with some poppies, and I'm actually going to continue, and I'm even going to put the poppies and the flowers kind of in the middle, even though his portrait might cover most of them. I'm still going to put them there because I don't want any white space. If you noticed in Kehinde Wiley's pictures, he really like fills the whole background. So I'm going to try to do the same and try to fill the whole space. So don't glue your picture down quite yet. Okay? Does anybody else want to share who they're doing?
I'm going to go back to Kat. She has her hand up.
Oh yeah, Kat, what's up?
So I already shared my dad, obviously, but
Yeah, I forgot to ask you who you were doing and what you're going to do in the
background.
Yeah, tell us.
So I'm going to put, I don't actually know the flower yet. I was just about to search that. The national flower of Poland, because my family, I think it was 3 great-grandparents were from Poland, and our last name is actually Americanized Polish. There we go.
Oh, that's interesting. Very cool.
And I'm going to put like seashells and stuff from the beach too, because my dad also grew up in North Carolina.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Those are great thoughts. Really good thoughts.
Also, Laura and I are sisters, by the way.
Really? Nice. I love it. And if you need to, and this goes for anybody, like for instance, so I kept saying Nigeria because I had on my search, I was looking through flowers and I was doing the research for Kehinde Wiley, and I was researching the national flower of Nigeria. So I just went on to Google and I searched it. So I had an image of it. If you need to do that, don't worry. Like, make sure if you need to find some inspiration images for your flowers or for whatever symbols you're putting in the background, do it. There's no harm in looking up inspiration images. Anybody else want to share who they're doing? I'm curious. So this month I'm doing, this month is a spotlight on all artists of color, and Kehinde Wiley is actually the only male artist that I picked. The other two, because remember we went down to only 1 day a week for classes because it's the summer. But so for the rest of the classes, they're actually going to be women, which I think is also really important because a lot of times women are really underrepresented in art as well. So these are a spotlight on not just artists of color, but I wanted to make sure that I picked a lot of women of color too. But Kehinde Wiley is pretty famous. He's like one of the better known artists, and I thought he's just a really cool artist. He had a really supportive family. His mom knew right away that her kid was all about art, and she really supported him and signed him up for lots of classes, after school arts classes. And it was actually really cool because he practiced it every day and worked really hard at it. He got a bunch of scholarships and he got into all these programs. I think he went to Russia as a kid to go to an art program. And then he also went to Yale to study art, which is a pretty prestigious school. So he was really lucky. He had a really supportive family who really helped him in his path to becoming an artist. And it's pretty cool because he's a pretty famous artist now. It's also especially cool because a lot of times artists don't become famous or well-known until they're much older, and Kehinde Wiley is actually pretty young. I think he's in his 40s, which is pretty young for an artist to be as famous as he is. And to be I keep saying famous, what I really mean to say is successful. To be as successful as he is. Does anybody else want to share who they're doing? I'm curious. Or if anybody wants to share the picture that they have so far. So I'm just working on some California poppies over here, and they're generally like this golden color. Really pretty flower, and I'm using colored pencils because I really wanted, part of the thing that makes a poppy stand out is its color. So I'm really trying to blend the colors together and kind of doing a lot of shading to make these colors really stand out. I might go back over with like a different color to outline the petals. There we go, something like that. But the goal today is to try to fill your page up as much as you can, and I know that can be tricky. You might not finish today, and that's totally fine. But you want to try to fill up as much of the white space as you can. Or you might, maybe you're not using a piece of white on your background. Maybe you're working on a colored piece of paper. And that works too. But you do want to try your best to fill up the space as much as you can. Let's go. Right. Sometimes I like to put my picture, my portrait of him like on top and see like what will appear and like where I need to add some more colors. Like I think I might add another flower down here in the corner. I definitely need to cover up the top. But maybe I'll switch to a different flower now because I did some poppies and I want to have some other symbolism in here too. So I think I need to look at that flower from Kenya. The name of it is, or sorry, I am all backwards today. Nigeria, from Nigeria. The national flower of Nigeria is called the Costus spectabilis. I don't know what the generic name of that is, but it's cool. It looks like a trumpet. So I think I'm going to add some of those in. And I got like it's got these. I'm looking at the foliage of it, the greenery too, to see. It's got these really big leaves. Kind of cool. It's got these like really big round leaves like this. Let's see, the flower itself has 5 petals. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a 5th one right here. This one first. Anybody else have anything they want to share? We're quiet today. I know we're a small class today. I think it's because it's summer. It's officially summer, so I think some kids are probably off doing camps and whatnot. You're doing some online camps. Anybody here doing a camp? Camps were my favorite part of growing up. Your favorite part of the summer. I went to art camps. They were fun. And they had, I know that there's some good online ones that are going on. And there's the flower, and then adding these big leaves in the background. It's almost like it has these almost looks like a 4-leaf clover, the leaves in the background. Like that. Scott, if you were going to do a portrait, who would you do one of? Who inspires you? Sorry to put you on the spot. Everybody's just so quiet today.
Oh my gosh, a lot of people inspire me, actually.
You don't have to answer. You can just think about it. I'm just curious. Who people are doing.
You know, I really love that portrait of Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And I think, personally, I think Michelle Obama is very inspiring too.
She is. Oh my gosh.
I think, I don't know, maybe I would try to do something like that in that style.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, so First Ladies also get their portrait in the National Gallery. And Michelle, let me see. Let me look it up. I can't forget the artist's name. Portrait. Yeah, Michelle. Oh yeah, Michelle's picture was by an artist named Amy Sherald, who is also an African-American artist. And I just remember the portrait of her was stunning. Oh my gosh. Let me find the picture of it. I'll share it. It's she has this dress on that's like, oops, let me find it. That's just the most beautiful dress. Here, I'll share my screen so you guys can see. This is the portrait by Amy Sherald. I don't know if you guys can see that. But she's just wearing this beautifully patterned dress that and it's just so striking because it's so different from the portrait by Kehinde Wiley. Because Kehinde Wiley's his portrait it's so focused, it's so not busy, but there's so much going on in the background, you know. And with Amy Sherald's portrait, it's so simple. Like the background is just this striking blue, but I don't know, the portrait itself I think is really beautiful. And I think what's really the coolest thing about it is just how modern both of these portraits look in comparison to a traditional presidential portrait. Let's see. In fact, I'm gonna stop the share and I'm gonna research what what the rest of the presidential portraits look like, just so you can get a comparison. I also see that Lily had her hand up. What's up, Lily?
A couple of days ago, well, last week, on Saturday, we went to a paddle out.
You went where?
We went to a paddle out, we went to the beach, and on the beach there was this big mandala.
Oh wow, that's cool. Was it made out of sand, the mandala?
Yeah.
That's so neat. Wow, that's very, very cool.
It was for Black Lives Matter.
Oh, that's awesome. So people had come and they did this amazing mandala for Black Lives Matter. That's awesome. Where were you? Where was it?
Blackies.
Blackie's Beach? That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I'll have to see. Oops, I'll have to see if I can go see it. Oops. Sorry, one second. I was trying to find some pictures to show you guys the comparison of presidential portraits.
Was that audio from you?
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay.
That's why I said whoops.
Okay.
because I was trying to find some images that showed the comparison and just how different Kehinde Wiley's portrait is. So here, actually, I found a great image of it. I'm going to share the screen to show you guys. So this shows how presidential portraits traditionally look. You can see how all the portraits, they're all just, they're all pretty much the same until you get to Obama's. And his is just so different. And I think it's really it's my personal favorite, just because I love the color, I love the symbolism, and I think his looks like the most modern. But you can see that Barack Obama chose an artist that made a really revolutionary picture. Just a really, really cool portrait. And it really stands out against all the other presidential portraits. I love his choice, but so cool, right? All right. But yeah, oh my gosh, I want to go to Blackie's Beach now. That's cool. There's been a lot of cool art. Like, art really matters. Like, art gives people a voice. Like, there's some things you can say with art that you can't necessarily say with words. So I don't know, but I'm an art teacher, but I definitely think that art matters, and I think that it's cool to use art to say something about the world.
Kat has her hand up.
What's up, Kat?
So I just wanted to share what I have so far. It's not
let's
much because I was trying to get it the correct way. But this is the red corn poppy. That's the
Ooh.
national flower of Poland.
Oh,
And
that's
I'll show
awesome.
you a picture because it looks really, really cool. Hold on, I've got to share.
Okay.
So hold on. Can you hear me? Just checking.
We can hear you. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, those are really pretty flat poppies with the black center, like the eye. It almost looks like the house has an eye in the middle with like.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I liked it because it looked like it was really, really crinkly. It looked like almost like someone crumpled up a piece of tinfoil and
Oh yeah, a little
uncrumpled it.
bit. Yeah, around the edges of the flower. Totally. I see that. I completely see that. That's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. So I'm just working. I'm filling up my page. These big, like, clover leaves help. It really help fill up the space. There's like 4 of them behind every flower. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, did you ever get your volume to work? I hope so.
Yes, I did.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's not Jessica. Who is that?
Sorry, that's Max. I forgot to change my name.
Max, no worries, no worries. It just says Jessica, so I didn't know who you were. Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad you got it to work, Max.
Just out of curiosity, since it was brought up, how did you fix it?
I don't know. I logged in a third time and somehow it worked.
Okay.
Weird. Very weird. Had you just updated Zoom? Because I know when I first updated Zoom, it had audio issues.
No, I don't know. It was just like my whole laptop wasn't making any sound, but then all of a sudden it was. As soon as my dad watched the YouTube video, he tried to test the audio with the YouTube video. And as soon as he did that, everything worked. So
Weird. Okay. Well, I'm glad you solved it. Glad it got fixed. All right. I'm also curious what materials everybody's using. If you're using colored pencils, if you're using markers, because you could do anything. Honestly, this project would probably go faster if you used like watercolor or paint, because you can get more color down on the paper faster. I love colored pencils, but they do take more time, especially when you're trying to really get some like layering going on and some shading. Okay. So what I had planned for this month, I'm just moving that to next month. So if you saw the lesson plans from before and you were confused and you're like, what? It got changed. Don't worry. What I had planned for then we'll do in July. So no worries. Just thought that this was more important to do right now. Great. I'm gonna put him back on there and see where else I need. Pretty sure I know. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna need some, maybe like a rose, because I need the New York flowers here. Maybe I'll do like part of a rose going off the page down here too. Okay. Let's see. Question is the national flower, or I keep saying national, is the state flower of New York a red rose? I know it's a rose. Is it a red rose or is it a pink rose? I need to research. Sometimes part of being an artist is having to research things. Huh. According to images, it looks like, doesn't look like it's a specific color. It's, they always say in all its variety and colors. Okay, so I could pick. I think I'm gonna do a red rose though, because that's, I think, is the most traditional. Okay. Let's look. Maybe this is all one petal. Yeah, that's better. Do all this one petal. Extra quiet today. I don't think I've had this quiet of a class in a while. Did anybody choose to do a self-portrait, or is everybody doing a portrait of somebody else whom they admire? I saw there's grandparents, there was mom and dad, I heard dad.
Lily has her hand up.
What's up, Lily?
I wanted to share mine so far.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Show us. Ooh, wow. Those are beautiful flowers. Those are poppies, I can tell. Those are really beautiful.
I did the California State poppy.
Yep.
And then I don't know what it's called, but that's the national Chicago flower.
Oh, chrysanthemum. That's a chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That looks great. Really nice. Really, really nice. I love it. Beautiful. So I am trying to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to find a color to blend in with this red up here for this rose. I think I'm going to make it, maybe add some pink to it to make it like a pinkish reddish rose. Because I like I said before, I like blending my colors. Yeah, that's going to be good. Maybe I'll do a little bit of orange too. So do like that. Great.
So I have a question.
Sure, what's up?
You said to cover all the white space, but what if one of the flowers you're doing has white in it?
Oh, then, I mean, it's totally up to you. If it has white, then you should leave it. You could leave it white. You could, sometimes, like, it depends. To make a white flower sometimes look like it has texture, you can pick, like, a different color to, like, add in, like, the lines or the petals. Like, sometimes I'll do, like a blue, which I know sounds crazy, but if I had a white flower, I might draw it and then just, like, draw it in blue, or you could, I don't know, or you could do it as a really, really pale color, like a really pale, like a, I don't know, like a pale white, or you can draw it with a pencil and you could shade it. So if, like, this was my flower and I'm I'm doing my flower like this, like I could actually take my pencil and I could, even though the flower is still white, I could shade like parts of it. So like, so I could,
The
so that you,
flowers bulbs are like teardrop shaped.
oh, they are. So
So
I
I'm
don't,
just shading them a little bit.
yeah, some
I
shading.
put a really pale kind of flesh kind of color.
Yeah, some shading can really help it like remain white, yet like make it look less flat. Because if you just draw the flower in with your pencil or your color, your whatever you're drawing it in with, if you just draw it in, then it might look flat, especially because I saw your picture before and I saw how many colors and textures that you were doing. So try adding some shading, and sometimes for some reason light blue makes a great shading color for white. So you could do like a light blue shading color, or you can just do your pencil. But yeah, that's a tricky one because when you're working on top of something on a white piece of paper and you want to draw something that is white. Sometimes you gotta find a solution. It's a good question. Just doing just like this. And go back in. And some more pink to make it darker. Blend those two colors in. Okay. There we go. All right, I think I'm happy with that rose. I'm going to give it a stem. Maybe some leaves. And you might not be able to cover all of it. Like I know I'm not going to be able to cover all of the empty space, but I'm just trying my best to cover up as much as I can. And symbolism is important in art. Like every choice you make has a meaning to it. So it's kind of nice. A lot of times, like in like the Renaissance paint pictures, like if you ever saw a still life of like fruit on the table, like a traditional still life, everything in the still life had some sort of symbol, like meant something. Like, so if like a piece of fruit was rotting, it symbolized how life is temporary. Like, so everything had a meaning to it, which is kind of interesting. So symbolism can be really important in art. I might need to do maybe some more vines down here or something. When you think you're ready, and I know nobody probably is ready yet, but when you think you are, the last step obviously is to glue your portrait down. You want to get really fancy. If you want to like really try to do something in the style of Kehinde Wiley, that you can always take another piece of paper and continue drawing some flowers on the other piece of paper, and then we'll cut them out and glue them on top of his pictures, because a lot of times his background patterns don't just exist in the background. Sometimes they cover his portraits a little bit. So, but to do that, because this picture is so dark, I can't draw on top of it. So I'd probably draw on a separate page and cut it out and just collage it on top. So I might do that actually. think I have time. Yeah, well, it's 10:49. I think I have time for one more flower. Anybody else wants to share if you're working and you're like almost done, or you know, have something you're proud of that you want to share with us, you're welcome to.
I think Lily would like to share.
Yeah, let's see, Lily.
This is mine.
Whoa, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, you worked fast. That looks awesome. Very cool. I love it. And I love that you did your whole family. Don't forget to sign your work on the bottom, okay?
Okay.
Give your work your artist's signature. I love it. Is anybody else ready to share, or is everybody still kind of working? Sounds like everybody's still working. All right, well, we have a little bit of time left. And if you don't finish, then hey, it's something you can work on the rest of the week.
Bye, Lily.
Oh, bye, Lily. I'll see you. Yeah, see you all next time. Have a good rest of your week.
Laura says she's waiting for her paint to dry.
Oh, okay, awesome. Cool. Well, I'm just going to cut out this last poppy I drew. And I think I'm ready to start collaging everything on.
And here's Kat.
Kat.
Sorry, I know I've shared a lot, but
No,
I
that's
thought I might show how my white flowers turned out.
absolutely.
I decided to outline them with black
Ooh.
to make the flowers pop.
Oh, what are those flowers? Do you know what they're called?
I will go check. Hold on.
They're
My
really
video will freeze while I check. Hold on.
okay. They're really cool. They're really, really
The
cool.
yucca flower. It's the state flower of New Mexico where I live.
Oh, that's so cool. Those are
So that is-
beautiful.
And then I already showed you that, the corn poppy.
Yeah, but they came out. Those are beautiful. They're really beautiful.
Once I have a few more flowers finished, I'm gonna start covering things with seashells.
Ooh, that's a great idea. I love it. I can tell you're working really hard on that. Thanks for sharing. No, and don't worry about sharing. Especially today, we have a pretty small class, so it's totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah, I think I might collage that on top of him like this. And then I think it's still missing something over here, so maybe I didn't do that stem long enough. I'm gonna finish the stem over here and then maybe add in.
Gonna spotlight Liliana and Heather Rose.
Oh yeah, girls, how are yours going?
Okay, so I haven't glued anything on yet.
That's
So this is
okay.
what it's gonna look like when it's finished.
Oh my gosh, those flowers are stunning. So I see clover.
Here's the background I've got.
So you have clover, you have the rose. Tell me about the background. Tell me about the flowers.
Well, I was trying to do the state flowers from everywhere they are. They were like all their nationalities.
Uh-huh.
So I put in Ireland here.
Yeah.
Here's Italy.
Nice.
This is England's flower.
Alexa, how do you spell north?
Rose, okay.
I don't remember where this is. I think this is, where is this? Oh, Sweden, I think.
Okay.
And this is Michigan's flower. This is
Ooh.
California's flower.
Oh wow. Yeah, I can see the poppy. That's awesome. Wow. What material were you using? Were you using
Colored pencils.
wow, you just work super fast, man. You were like speedy. That looks amazing.
And this rose was hard to do because I had to just do the red parts since.
Yeah, but I love how it came out. It's really beautiful. I like how you shaded just like part of it. I think it really comes across as like as a rose. I think it's really successful.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Here's mine.
Ooh, tell me, you were doing your grandmother?
My grandmother and my aunt.
Great aunt.
Yeah.
So tell me about the background. Bring it a little closer. Let me see.
Well, I did waves right here for just kind of beaches.
Uh-huh. Nice.
I did the yellow hibiscus for Hawaii.
Very nice.
And presents for Christmas because they always come out for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did donuts because my grandmother always likes to shop at a donut store and get us donuts.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Will you hold your picture up in front of it so I can see what it will look like when it's done? Oh, that's going to be amazing. I love it. Oh my gosh, I hope you take a photograph and send it to them. Again, just to share what you've done because that looks so cool. So I think they'll be really happy. I think they'd be really proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Is there anybody else who would like to share? So I just finished mine. I think this is my portrait of Kehinde Wiley. Still have a little bit of white space, but see how I glued the other poppy on top? So I wanted him to be like kind of like partially covered. So it really looks like he's like in the jungle or in this like forested area. I am gonna cut the bottom off so that it's flush with the rest though. There we go, like that. Is anybody else? Oh yeah, Vienna Victoria, would you like to share? Let's see, girls. Who did you do? Who did you do portraits of?
I just did random, and so.
Ooh, I like the Tinkerbell one. Wow. Ooh, that collage came out really, really nice. So why did you choose to put Tinkerbell there?
Production. Actually, I didn't know who I wanted to do, so I just chose someone at random.
That's okay. I didn't give you guys a lot of time to think about it. That looks so beautiful. I love it. Really, really nice job. Yeah. Oh, Laura says that the wings are like fire. Did you color them in like fire?
No, we printed her out.
Oh, they are.
Okay.
Well, I like how your collage is coming out, and I love that like the background is really colorful. It makes it like, I feel like because her wings are so light colored, it makes her stand out right in the middle. That's awesome. Can we see yours?
Not yet.
Not yet.
1 more minute.
Still working. All right. No worries. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh, did you do Elsa?
Yeah.
Where did you put Elsa? What's behind her?
It's a background.
I see flowers. I see are those mountains? Tell me what's there.
There's bead packs.
Okay.
There's candy dropping.
Whoa. Okay.
Flowers. A flower plate.
Okay, a flower plate.
There's another
Oh my
flower
God.
plate, I believe. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. That looks amazing. I love it. And also, I think both of your collages came out really beautiful. I like that you both chose to do magazine collage in the background. That's
And characters, I
The papers we have don't work. They're not big enough, so we had to use.
well, hey, that's part of being an artist is problem solving, and you guys figured it out. That looks amazing. Thank you for sharing. Very nice job.
I'm still working on it.
Oh, okay. All right. You keep working. Beautiful work. Is there anybody else who would like to share?
Max would like to share.
Hey, Max, who'd you do?
Okay, so I did Ndaba Mandela.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's just the light in the back.
Oh yeah, last time I did this. So
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Oh my gosh. So,
then I have he's Nelson Mandela's grandson.
uh-huh.
I actually got to meet him at one point.
Okay.
But the different flowers are the different flowers of like South Africa. And
Okay.
then the bowls are from the Africa Rising logo, which I think he helped found. So I have that. And then I also made Jeff Goldblum, and I have I have the Philadelphian flower because that's where he's from. I have dinosaurs for Jurassic Park, flies for The Fly, and Grandmaster Staff from the Marvel Cinematic Universe where
Oh
she
my
played.
gosh.
So
Oh my gosh. Wait, will you hold up your other one again? I just want to take a quick photo of it. If you don't mind, I'll take a quick screenshot. That looks amazing. I love it. So cool. I love that you were really thoughtful about the symbolism that you put in the background of both of yours. Really, really nice.
thank you.
Yeah, very cool. All right, is there anybody else who would like to share? I think it might have been everybody. Did everybody get a chance to share? That might have been everyone. Oh, Laura, I saw your comment. Ooh, I just got confused. Sorry about that. Laura, did you share your work? Did you want to share, or are you all good? You're good. All right, awesome. Okay. Well, you guys all did a really, really awesome job. I'm really impressed with all of these pictures that you guys have worked on, and the symbolism you guys picked. Really, really awesome work. Next Tuesday, we're going to do an artist. Her name is Pasita Abad, and her work is really, really beautiful. It'll be close to the 4th of July, or sorry, no, actually it won't be that close to the 4th of July, but it's going to be about diversity and immigration. But it's so you can have a look at on the website if you're curious about what we're going to do. But I hope you guys all have a really great week, and I hope I see you again next Tuesday. All right, bye. Have a good one.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for class.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for the class.
No problem. Bye.